Now to your community focus. The General Assembly is still in recess, but will there be a special session this fall to discuss recreational marijuana? Here to talk about that and more, Senate President Dominick Ruggerio. Thanks so much for joining us in studio.
Thank you for having me today, Kim.
So when I spoke with the House Speaker back in July, he said a special fall session to discuss, among other things, recreational marijuana was on the table. Is it off the table now?
No, we've had people working on that issue since we've left the session this year. We assigned Senator McCaffrey and Senator Miller to work on that issue. We sent legislation, which we think is a very good piece of legislation, over to the House before we left in June. And they're working on that legislation with some of the House people at this point in time.
What do you think the holdup is? Why hasn't a special session for the fall been decided on yet?
Well, we really haven't had anything that we could go back and look at. However, we're hoping that we could get cannabis done. We're very close. We're making progress, but we're not there at this point in time.
Do you think it's likely at this point that recreational marijuana will just be tabled until you guys come back in January?
I don't think so. As I said, I think they're making progress. There's a couple stumbling blocks that they're addressing right now, and we'll see how that shakes out.
Our Target 12 investigators have been reporting extensively on the ILO Group's contract to help with the reopening of Rhode Island public schools. Are you satisfied that that $5 million was money well spent?
Well, there's been a lot of articles and a lot of talk about that particular issue. We are taking a look at that issue right now to see if everything was done appropriately. We do not believe that anything was done illegally, but we're just looking at that issue as far as process is concerned.
Will there be a Senate oversight hearing on that topic?
Well, right now gathering information. We don't know what's going to come out of that, and we'll make that decision at the appropriate time.
I want to talk about the American Rescue Plan Act money that we're set to get, more than $1 billion. Just a short time ago, the Senate Finance Committee posted a meeting for next Tuesday. What should we expect to come out of that? Well,
we're having a national conference of state legislatures. They are going to be coming in and addressing that issue. They're going to tell us what some of the other states are doing. We're still awaiting some information from Washington as to how we can spend that money. So we have not received that at this point in time. But in the meantime, we're going to see what other states are doing, how they're spending that money, and obviously we have some issues that we want to have addressed.
I want to ask you about the mandatory vaccinations for healthcare workers. October 1st is fast approaching. What do you think? Do you think that deadline should be shifted back, or do you support the governor's plan right now to have everyone vaccinated or potentially not have a job by October 1st?
Well, first of all, my position is I think everyone should get vaccinated. I think it helps the public. I think it helps those people who are going to nursing homes, in hospitals and places like that. You don't know if anyone's been vaccinated. I think that can only exacerbate the coronavirus situation. But I think everyone should get vaccinated, including healthcare workers.
And just quickly before we let you go, Senate President, any endorsement in the District 3 Senate race?
Not at this time, no. We're just keeping an eye on that race. Obviously, it's a special election, and that's for Senator Golden's seat. But we're just watching that race and to see what happens.
And anything else you'd like to let our viewers know before we let you go?
Well, I think if we do have a special session in the fall, we're going to be looking at judges once we get that information also. We're hoping that we have some resolution on the cannabis issue and whatever might come up.
All right. Senate President Dominick Ruggerio, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.